Good morning. Hey, I'm just going to show you real quick how I fix myself a breakfast and talk to you a little bit about what I'm using. Okay? And I've got two skillets on here. And I'm going to make skillet toast. I I do have a toaster now, but I didn't have one for a long time. Just because I really didn't need one. But I'm going to show you how I make my skillet toast. And I actually like skillet toast better than I do in the toaster. And I just get whatever bread I am using at the time, and I butter it up on both sides. You want to put butter on both sides and put it. I've got the skillet heating up. I've got it on probably mostly towards the low setting. I'm going to put that one in. And I'll keep it on low because I like it. I don't want it to cook too fast, and I don't want it to burn. I just get my butter on there. I'm sure a lot of you have already have done this at home or whatever. But anyway, and I wanted to show you, I'm using some fresh farm eggs that my granddaughter Tabitha raises chickens, and I got these eggs from her. And I'm gonna crack the eggs in this little iron skillet, turn my heat down. And the reason I wanted to tell you about this, if you get a chance to get fresh farm eggs, you should try them. They have a better flavor. I know most people don't realize that, but they taste better than the store-bought eggs that you get. They cost a little more than store-bought eggs, but they're well worth it. And when I get these, I only use these to eat when I'm going to have eggs for breakfast, because I don't want to waste them, putting them in a cake mix or, you know, something like that. I like to use them just for eating. So that's what I do. Like I said, they have a better taste than just your regular store-bought eggs. I didn't mean to do that. But anyway, this is what I'm having for breakfast. And see how nice this toasts up. Doesn't that look good? And it is. It's really good. And you can either eat it plain with your egg, or you can put honey or jelly on it, or apple butter. And that's what makes it really, really good. And that's something else that I am wanting to make, is some apple butter, and I'm going to try to get that done for you. And back here in this little pan, I've got some water and some orange peel, some whole cloves, and some cinnamon. I didn't have a cinnamon stick, but that's what I like to use. And that makes a wonderful smell, a potpourri for your kitchen. It makes your kitchen and your house smell really good and smell like Christmas. So that's another thing you can do. Just put this in some water, turn it on, and get it hot. And when it steams up, it makes that aroma go all through the house. And it smells so good. Anyway, I just wanted to show you real quick a good little breakfast. If you have some fresh farm eggs, and they are wonderful. And this toasts up really good, and it's something I think you'd enjoy. Maybe you've already done this, and maybe you haven't, but anyway, I wanted to show you how I made up a little breakfast like this. And I'm gonna hop off and get my breakfast ate, and then I may be back on with something else and add to this video. See you later. Bye-bye. Hey, I'm back. And I told you I'd be back after I did that breakfast, and I didn't get it on, but I'm going to put it on before I do this one. But what happened was, I was going to get back on and do something else for you, and I remembered that I was going out to the palace, and we were going to do a crab boil and shrimp and stuff, and Eric was going to cook that up, and I went out there and videotaped all of it, I thought, showed you around the palace and what all we were doing. Well, guess what? My camera wasn't working, and it didn't tape only part of it, so I couldn't go ahead and add that to the breakfast one. So I'm also going to add this morning to the video, and maybe something else to go with this, because this is going to be really, really short. And I'm so sorry that this is happening. I need to get back in the grind a little better. But what I'm going to do this morning is I'm going to make a little small crock pot of apple butter. I usually make a bigger pot, and I usually use 4 of these jars of applesauce. But I only want to do a small one because I've got a couple of gifts that I'm going to give, and I put these in little pint jars and give them to people for gifts a lot of times. So let me show you what I'm going to do this morning. This is unsweetened applesauce, and it is 46 ounces. It's about 5.5 cups, and I'm going to pour this into this little crock pot. And that's why I'm not doing only one, because this fills it up clear almost to the top. A mess here, as usual. If you want, you can save this jar and wash it if you're making this for yourself, and put the apple butter back in here and just store it in the refrigerator. I'm not going to can these little jars. I'm just going to put lids on them, and they will have to be kept in the refrigerator. So the first thing I'm going to do is add 1.5 cups of sugar to this. Now I have also measured out 1 drop of cinnamon oil. You don't have to use the cinnamon if you don't want to, but what I'm going to do is I've put a drop in the lid, And what's in the lid, this is just cinnamon oil like you can get it most grocery stores or drugstores. And it's very strong, don't get it on you. And I'm just gonna put a tiny, that's why I put it in the lid, because I didn't want to get too much in here. And I knew if I started pouring it out of the bottle, I'd probably get 2 drops. And it's very, very potent. And then I am going to add cinnamon, just regular cinnamon. Well, maybe I will, and maybe I won't. I won't go all the way down in there. Okay, this is 1 teaspoon. I'm going to put that in there. Should have mixed that all up with the sugar first. That would have been a better idea. Now, also, for a little more flavor, I'm going to add a 1/2 cup of Red Hots. And this will also give it some color. And then you don't have to put any extra coloring in the mixture. Okay? And I've got this on low. I'm going to put it on low. And let me see if I can. That's what it looks like. I'm going to stir that up and get that all stirred up in there. And this will cook on low for about maybe 12 hours. It may not be that much since I'm doing the smaller pot, but at least 10 hours on low. But how you test it is, you take a spoon and hold it over a little container like this and hold it up and see if it will congeal when you drop it. That means get thick. I'm going to stir this all up real good. And I will check on this all day. It's 8:30 right now. I'm going to stir all the sugar, make sure the sugar gets all stirred up in it, the cinnamon and the Red Hots and the oil. And then I will taste it after it's cooked for a while and make sure that it has a good flavor and see if I need to add any more sugar or cinnamon. I used to make this when I was first married. We lived in northern part of Illinois and we had an apple tree. And you could use those apples for anything. Pies, apple butter, just cooking apples. They were wonderful. And I'm not sure what they were. I always thought they were yellow delicious. They were a light yellow color. Anyway, when I made my apple butter back then, I made it in the oven. I cooked it in the oven. And I would stir it every like 30 minutes or so, and I'd cook it all day long. It took all day to cook to make this apple butter. But back then you had to cook your apples, or back when I did those, you had to peel and core and cook your apples and make applesauce first, or grind them up after you cooked them in a food processor, and then do what I did. That's why I use this, and I use unsweetened applesauce, because it's so much quicker, but yet you still get that good homemade flavor. And there's nothing any better than a good old dollop of apple butter on your biscuit for breakfast. Okay, I think I've got this pretty well stirred up. Like I said, I may need to add either some more cinnamon, or cinnamon oil, or sugar. But I'm going to let this cook all day long. And I'm going to clean this little container up. I slipped everything out on the side. Stirring it up. I should have stirred it in a little mixing bowl. Okay, I'm going to put the lid on it. Let this sit here and just cook up a storm all day on low. I'll leave all this sit here in case I need to add anything to it, or, you know, add anything. And I just want to let you know that I could possibly be back on here, and I'd like to be this afternoon. Eric and I have some running that we're going to do. He's so good to take me places when he has to go. He works out of town a lot, and he works in Chicago, and he works in California, and he works in Memphis, and he works in Florida, and so he works for maybe many days or months before he comes back home, and then he's home for a while. So that's good. And then he's good to take me with him when he does anything, and I enjoy that. So if we do something interesting today, I'll take a video of that. I don't know what we're gonna do, but anyway, like I said, I'll try to be back. I've got so many things that I'm wanting to cook for you, and show you how I make things, and as I go, tell you a little bit about my family and myself. But I do appreciate you watching, and I thank all of you that have already subscribed to my channel. I didn't have any idea whether anybody would even watch this or not, because I am certainly not a professional at anything in as far as videoing and cooking. The only profession, I mean, that I have is experience, because I've cooked all my life and cooked for a lot of people, cooked at camps for kids most of my life. And when my kids went to camp, I cooked when they were in camp, and then my grandchildren, I cooked when they were in camp. And this year, this past year was my last year at doing any cooking. I wasn't able to do anything but plan the menus and order the food, and help them out, tell them if they didn't know how to do something. And so I'm not able to do that anymore. I did get my hip fixed. I got a hip replacement, and I can walk around so good compared to what I did. I can do things with my leg. I can raise it up. I can it's amazing to think that, you know, you go so long without being able to do anything, and then all of a sudden your leg works. But the only thing I'm having trouble with now is my shoulders, and this one is the worst. And I have to take pain pills, which I don't like to do, but I'm only taking over the counter pain relief, which doesn't help too much. But anyway, some days are better than others, and when I feel better, I try to get a video in. But I'm not complaining. I'm so thankful. I'm thankful for my hip being as good as it is, and I'm thankful for all my blessings. I'm thankful for my family and my friends, and I'm thankful for you people that are on here watching me on Facebook. I'm going to get off for now, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Okay, I'm back, and it's 3:30. It's been 7 hours since I put the apple butter on. And I also wanted to tell you that I had made a mistake on the amount of sugar. I needed to put 2.5 cups of sugar in there. When I tasted it, it wasn't sweet enough, so I added another cup of sugar. And we're gonna taste this, or not taste it. I'm gonna show you what it looks like whenever you dip it up and let it drip off the bottom of your spoon. Make sure that, can you see how it's thick? I don't know if I'm up close enough or not. Well, when I tried this a while ago, it was thicker, but I put some in this little dish and let it cool down. But you can see that it's getting thick in there. See how, I guess I didn't have it stirred up good enough. But it needs to get nice and thick. I may leave this on here. Get it up here. See, it's starting to get thick when you pour it out of the spoon, and when it cools. I may leave this on for another hour, but that's what you want to look for is, and if you might not want to put as many Red Hots in as I did to start with, and then taste it, because it is really cinnamony, which I like it that way, but you might not like it with that much cinnamon in it. And but just taste it. Just put half the amount of the Red Hots, and then taste it during the cooking, and then that way you will know whether it's got too much cinnamon in there for you or not. I'm gonna go ahead and let this cook for another hour, and I may come back and let you see again. Otherwise, I'll probably go ahead and then just let this cool down, put it in some jars, and when it cools, put it in the refrigerator, and have a nice little gift for someone. Anyway, that's our apple butter, and it is really good flavored. Like I said, it does have a really strong cinnamon taste, but I like that. But if I was you, I would not put, I think I put a half a cup in there And if that is too strong, it might be too strong for you. And I would just go ahead and put like 1/4 of a cup and then taste it. And if you don't think it's got enough cinnamon in it, then add a little bit more. And don't put all the whole 1/2 cup in there at one time. Okay, well, this is going to be delicious on some biscuits or whatever, whoever gets this. It'll also be good on just toast. And it's not hard to do. You seen what I did? I had the applesauce, the cinnamon powder, and the liquid and the sugar. And put it in this little crock pot. And I can't tell you, this whole 5½ cups of applesauce is what I put in here. And remember that it's the unsweetened applesauce. And then you add your sugar, and it's supposed to be 2½ cups instead of 1½. I made a mistake on that, so I did add the sugar back in there. All right, I'm gonna get off for now and get this posted. See you soon. Bye-bye. Okay, I decided to hop back on and show you what it was like, and I want to show you, I cooked it. It's been on there for 9½ hours. Now I'm going to show you with my finger. I'm going to dip up this and see how it clings to my finger and doesn't run off. Well, that means it's done. And that means that it's thick enough. So I'm going to show you what else I'm going to do. I'm going to put one in a jar here so you can see real quick. And I'm going to turn this off so it'll start cooling down. And I'm going to give it a stir in the pot to make sure it's all stirred up good and thick everywhere. And I'm going to dip in here. And put it in this little pint jar. Hope you can see me. Okay. I'll rinse that off so it won't be so messy. Now I've got to wipe the jar off because I got some spills on it. Now what I'll do is I'll go ahead and put the lid on. Like I said, I'm not canning this or anything, but with this lid being, this jar being hot and the apple butter being hot, it'll probably seal, which I'm not needing it to because it's going to be put in the refrigerator as soon as it cools enough to get in there. Okay, here's a nice little jar of apple butter, and I'm telling you, it is delicious. I hope you all try this, and I'll fill another jar. I may have enough for 3 jars, but that's what I'm going to do. And I just wanted to show you one other thing, and then I'm going to quick get off so I can send this to Michelle. And Eric got me this eggnog at the grocery store, and it is so good. And it's just, I didn't want to get a great big container of it because I was afraid I wouldn't be able to drink it all, and I didn't want it to go to waste. But this is Erickson is the brand of it. I don't know where all you guys can get it, but I got it out here in Kansas City at Price Chopper. And this is the best eggnog. I couldn't believe it was that good. But you have to shake it up real good because you can see the spices settle down in the bottom of it. But I just wanted to show you that. If you want some eggnog and you don't really want to buy a quart of it or whatever, this is just a nice little size to make you a couple of servings out of and have you some eggnog for the holidays. Okay, I'm gonna hop off for now and hope to see you soon. Bye, everyone.